Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to Stories at the Library. I'm happy to have you here for special stories today about farmyard animals and barnyard animals, and I think you'll like them. Now, the first story I have for you is the story Sitting on the Farm. And it goes like this. Sitting on the farm as happy as can be, I had a little bug on my knee. I said, "Hey, bug, get off my knee." Well, that old bug said, "No, siree." So I picked up the telephone. I called my friend the frog at home. I asked if she would like some lunch. The frog came over and munch, munch, munch. Sitting on the farm as happy as can be, now I had a frog on my knee. I said, "Hey, frog, get off my knee." Well, that old frog said, "No, siree." So I picked up the telephone. I called my friend the snake at home. I asked if he would like some lunch. The snake came over and munch, munch, munch. Sitting on the farm, happy as can be, now I had a snake on my knee. I said, "Hey, snake, get off my knee." Well, that old snake said, "No, siree." So I picked up the telephone. I called my friend the rat at home. I asked if he would like some lunch. The rat came over, and guess what he did? Munch, munch, munch. Well, sitting on the farm, happy as can be, now I had a rat on my knee. I said, "Hey, rat, get off my knee." Well, that old rat said, "No, siree." So I picked up the telephone. I called my friend the cat at home. I asked if she would like some lunch. Well, the cat came over and munch, munch, munch. That's right. Sitting on the farm, happy as can be, now I had a cat on my knee. I said, "Hey, cat, get off my knee." Well, that old cat just looked at me. So I picked up the telephone. I called my friend the dog at home. I asked if he would like some lunch. The dog came over and munch, munch, munch. That's right, there he munched. Sitting on the farm, happy as can be, now I had a dog sitting on my knee. I said, "Hey, dog, get off my knee." Well, that old dog said, "No, siree." So I picked up the telephone. I called my friend the bear at home. I asked if she would like some lunch. The bear came over and munch, munch, munch. That's right. Oh my goodness. Sitting on the farm, happy as can be, now I had a bear on my knee. I said, "Hey, bear, get off my knee." Well, that old bear said, "No, siree." So I picked up the... Wouldn't somebody please help me get this bear off my knee? And that's the story of Sitting on the Farm. Whew, that was a big bear. Let's do open, shut them before my next story. Can we see those open? Open, shut them. Open, shut them. Give a little clap. Very good. Open, shut them. Open, shut them. Place them in your lap. Now remember, creep them, crawl them, creep them, crawl them, right up to your chin. Open wide your great big mouth, but do not let them in. Very good, very good. Now, this story is a very silly story too. The name of this story is Click, Clack, Moo, Cows That Type. Farmer Brown has a problem. His cows like to type. All day long he hears the sound of click, clack, moo. Ponky, don't worry about it. That's fine. You can just listen to me. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. That's what he hears from his cows. At first he couldn't believe his ears. Cows that type, impossible. but he kept hearing the sound. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Then he couldn't believe his eyes. There was a note. Dear Farmer Brown, the barn is very cold at night. We'd like some electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. It was bad enough the cows had found the old typewriter in the barn. Now they wanted electric blankets. No way, said Farmer Brown, no electric blankets. So the cows went on strike. They left a note on the barn door, and it read, sorry, we're closed. No milk today. No milk today, cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard the cows busy at work. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. The next day, he got another note, and it read, Dear Farmer Brown, the hens are cold too. They'd like electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. The cows were growing impatient with the farmer. They left a note on the barn door. And the note said, Kunal, Panki. The note said, closed, no milk today, and no eggs. No eggs, cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard them again, and they said, click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. That's right. Cows that type, hens on strike, who ever heard of such a thing? How can I run a farm with no milk and no eggs? Farmer Brown was furious. Farmer Brown got out his own typewriter. Dear cows and hens, he wrote, there will be no electric blankets. You are cows and hens. I demand milk and eggs. Sincerely, Farmer Brown. Duck was a neutral party, so he brought the ultimatum all the way to the cows. The cows held an emergency meeting. All the animals gathered around the barn to snoop, but none of them could understand moo. All night long, Farmer Brown waited for an answer. Duck knocked on the door early the next morning. He handed Farmer Brown another note. Dear Farmer Brown, it said, we will exchange our typewriter for electric blankets. Leave them outside the barn door, and we'll send Duck over with the typewriter. Sincerely, the cows. Farmer Brown decided this was a good deal. He left the blankets next to the barn door and waited for Duck to come with the typewriter. Well, boys and girls, it's time to listen now. It's time to listen. The next morning, Farmer Brown got another note, and it read, Dear Farmer Brown, the pond is quite boring. We'd like a diving board. Sincerely, the ducks. And then he heard the sound, click, clack, quack. Click, clack, quack. Click, clack, quack. And that's the story of Click, Clack, Moo, cows that type. What does a cow say? Moo. Now, what does a pig say? Okay. And what does a duck say? And what does a cat say? Okay. And what does the dog say? Okay. What does the frog say? That's right. And what does the little mouse say? Squeak, squeak, squeak. That's right. Now the next story I have for you is a story of color farming. You'll need to help me with this. Now, is everyone ready to listen? Yeah. I would like everyone to fold their hands together. Fold your hands together. Perfect. Now you're ready to listen. This is the book called Color Farm. On this farm, you can view animal ears and whiskers too. Lots of animals to be found, shapes and colors all around. Look at beaks and snouts with me. Make some more for me to see. So now see if you can help me tell. What is this? Or it's a chicken or a rooster. That's right. And we use a square there. What is this animal? That's a duck. And here we use an octagon. Who's this guy? Or a chicken. This could be a chicken too. And we use a hexagon to make that animal. Now, who's this guy?
A dog.
That's right, that's a dog there. We use a nice circle to make his face. Now, who's this guy? That could be a goose. And what shape do we use to make him? What shape is this? The heart shape, that's right. Well, this is more of a sheep right here. And what shape do we use there? A diamond shape. Very good. Now we have, who's this one?
A cat.
That's the cat, right? And we use, what shape is that? The rectangle shape, that's right. And here we have, well, this is actually a cow. And what shape have we used here?
A doggy.
Wait, what shape? Actually, it's an oval. That shape is called the oval. Now, what animal is this? This is more of a pig. Funny looking pig, I'll agree. What shape is that? Triangle, that's right. Very good. So all the animals we saw on our color farm were a rooster, a chicken, a goose, a duck, a cat, a dog, and the sheep. And that's the book of Color Farm.
Where's the dog?
Let's see. Let's do There Was a Little Turtle.
There was a little.
Well, let's make sure everybody got your turtles ready. Good. Okay, everybody does. Let's start now, Eric. Okay, there was a little turtle who lived in a box. He loved to swim in the water, and he loved to climb on rocks. He snapped at a mosquito. He snapped at a flea. He snapped at a minnow, and he snapped at me. He caught the mosquito. He caught the flea. He caught the minnow, but he didn't catch me. Good, good. Now, you'll listen to the story of pigs in the mud in the middle of the rud. You'll see what happens. Well, when it rains a lot, what do we get?
Mud.
Mud, that's right. It had rained. It had poured. Now a Model T Ford was stopped in the rud by some pigs in the mud. Pigs in the rud, Grandma said. Oh, no, won't do. Got a shoe, but who? I'll shoe, that's who, Brother said. And he shooed, and he squealed, and he rutted, and he reeled. But the pigs didn't budge, not a tiny little smudge. Hens in the rud, Grandma said. Oh, no, won't do. Got a shoe, but who? I'll shoe, that's who, Sister said. So Sister shooed, and she clucked, and she squawked, and she plucked. But the hens didn't scatter, not a tiny little smatter. Oh, no. Ponky, are you ready to listen? Good. Sheep in the rud, Grandma said. Oh, no, won't do. Got a shoe, but who? I'll shoe, that's who, Mama said. And she shooed, and she jeered, and she baaed, and she sheared. But the sheep didn't shuffle, not a tiny little smuffle. Bulls in the rud, Grandma said. Oh, no, won't do. Got a shoe, but who? I'll shoe, Papa said. That's who. And he shooed, and he tussled, and he snorted, and he rustled. But the pigs didn't charge, not a tiny little smarge. Uh-oh, look at them all. Hens, pigs, sheeps, bull, all in the rud. Mama, Papa, brother, sister, all in the rud. Oh, no, won't do. Got a shoe, but who? Ee-yo! Up to me, Grandma said.
How come they're all dirty?
With her hands on her hips and a snarl on her lips and her dander up, Grandma yelled, time for sup. Budge, scatter, shuffle, charge, smudge, smatter, smuffle, smarge, all to sup. At last, empty rud, but look in the mud. With her dress all rumpled and her bonnet all crumpled and muddy from head to toe, Grandma said, it's time to go. And that's the story of pigs in the mud in the middle of the rud. Why were they all dirty, Samantha? Did you ask? Who said that, Carolyn? Why were they all muddy?
Because they're in the mud.
They were in the mud, Eric. You're right. They slipped in the mud with all the animals. Even Grandma did.
Grandma was the one who wanted all the people to go in the red.
That's right. I think she did. Well, she almost got them out. Okay, I have one last story, and this is another one I think you'll be able to help me with. This is the story of barnyard banter. That's right, barnyard banter it's
That makes
called.
me think of chips.
Cows in the pasture. What do cows say?
Moo.
That's right. Cows in the pasture, moo, moo, moo. Roosters in the barnyard. What do roosters say? Cock-a-doodle-doo. That's right. Hens in the hen house, cluck, cluck, cluck. Pigs in the wallow, muck, muck, muck. But where is Goose? Kittens in the hayloft, meow, meow, meow. Pigeons in the rafters, coo, coo, coo. That's right. Mice in the grain bin, what do mice say? Squeak, squeak, squeak. That's right. Peacocks in the wire pen, shriek, shriek, shriek. But where is Goose? Donkeys in the paddock, hee-haw-haw. Crows in the cornfield, caw, caw, caw. Crickets in the stone wall, chirp, chirp, chirp. That's right, that's what the crickets do. Frogs in the farm pond, burp, burp, burp. But where is Goose? Moo, 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 cock-a-doodle-doo, cluck, 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 muck, 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 mew, 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 coo, 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 squeak, 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 shriek, 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 hee-haw-haw, caw, 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 chirp, 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 and burp, burp, burp. But where is Goose? There's Goose, and Goose says,
And here's Goose.
honk, honk, honk.
Here's
That's right.
Goose.
Yep. Well, it's one of our friends. That's right. There's Goose, and what does Goose say? Honk, honk, honk.
And Goose,
That's
can you say
right.
honk, honk, honk? Honk, honk, honk.
I think. Okay, let's do open shut them one last time before we're all done, because you guys were so good at that. Let's try that. Oh, but we'll do it a little slower than that, I think. Let's do it. Open, shut them. Open, shut them. Give a little clap. Open, shut them. Open, shut them. Place them in your lap. Good. Creep them, crawl them. Creep them, crawl them. Right up to your chin. Open wide your great big mouth. Let's see them all open. But do not let them in. Very good. Good. Thank you for listening to my stories. I'm glad you came. Why don't you just sit down first? We're almost done. You can have a seat, Carrie.